You can find out about the High Sheriff who lived beyond his means when he built Erthig. The High Sheriff of Denbighshire. In 1682, Joshua Eddisbury was appointed High Sheriff of Denbighshire. It was to be the making of Erthig and the unmaking of Eddisbury. He chose the dramatic site on an escarpment above the winding River Clwydog, a mile south of Wrexham. On 1st of November 1683, Thomas Webb, Freemason of Middlewich in Cheshire, covenanted and agreed to undertake and perform the care and oversight of contriving, building and finishing of a case or body of a new house. Work began in 1684 on a house 9 bays wide, but Eddisbury overstretched himself, and by 1709 he was bankrupt. And this is where it gets even more interesting. Elihu Yale, famous benefactor and namesake of the Ivy League University in America, also made a loan to Joshua Eddisbury to help build Erddig. Eddisbury had already courted the wealthy East India Company merchant with casks of sandpatch ale. Yale had reciprocated with our best mango chutney and a Japan screen for Eddisbury's wife, which you can still see in the state bedroom. But their friendship evaporated when Yale was later forced to call in his debts, demanding £4,000 for a loan of half that amount, and set in motion the spiral that led to Joshua Eddisbury's bankruptcy. Elihu Yale, 1649 to 1721, was an English merchant, colonial administrator and philanthropist, most well known for his significant donations to the Collegiate School of Connecticut, which subsequently was named Yale College, now Yale University, in his honor. He was born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1649, but moved to England with his family at the age of 3. He joined the British East India Company in 1671 and went to work in Madras, India in 1672. He rose through the ranks, eventually becoming president and governor of Fort St. George in 1687. His time in India saw him amass a substantial fortune, largely through private trade in diamonds. However, he was removed from his post in 1692 due to charges of corruption and self-dealing. He returned to Britain in 1699, a wealthy man. His family had Welsh roots, and his great-grandfather David Yale bought the Plasgrono estate, which is part of the Erthig estate near Wrexham, in the late 16th century. Elihu Yale died in 1721 in London, but is buried in St Giles Churchyard, Wrexham, North Wales. St Giles Church in Wrexham is a Grade 1 listed building and a significant example of Welsh ecclesiastical architecture. Its 16th century tower, standing 41 metres high, is a local landmark and one of the 7 wonders of Wales. A replica of the tower exists on the campus of Yale University. So that is the connection between Erthig in Wrexham and Yale University in America, all because of Elihu Yale. The grounds of Erddig are beautiful, but I can only go in the outer woods and fields with the dogs, so I can't go into the landscaped gardens, and I certainly can't go into the house with my 2 dogs, but I've been there many times. It's just down the road. It's a beautiful place. So as we're going over the little bridge, straight ahead is the house and the gardens and the tea room and the shop. But I'm going over to the right into a sort of a specified dog field, which is fenced off and it leads down to the river. It's great fun for the dogs. You can let them off the lead. But right across the path were just loads and loads of cows, 20 cows, all walking across the path. And I just looked at them. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I really didn't want to walk through this herd of cows. So you can see that we sort of stand and look at them and then we turn back. I just don't want to risk it because one of my dogs is a little bit temperamental and I thought I don't know what he's going to do really, even on a lead. I didn't fancy that day, so I turned around and we walked back through the woods.